Welcome back to our series. Episode 26 is here, and it's all about the massive challenge of becoming one big family. So, grab your popcorn, because things are about to get intense. The moving trucks have finally pulled away, and both families are officially under one roof. The new house is huge, beautiful, and supposed to be a dream come true. But on day when that dream started to look a lot more like a chaotic reality show. Remember all that excitement and optimism? Yeah, it evaporated pretty quickly. The first signs of trouble brewed in the heart of the home, the kitchen. Jieming's mom, a master of traditional flavors, and Xiaoling's mom, who prides herself on her own family recipes, immediately clashed. It started with a simple question: what's for dinner? But it escalated into a full-blown culinary cold war. One wanted to steam, the other wanted to stir-fry. Spices were debated, cooking times were scrutinized, and soon enough, the kitchen became a territory divided by passive-aggressive comments about sodium levels and the proper way to chop vegetables. It was less about feeding the family and more about establishing kitchen supremacy. And it wasn't just the moms. The dads found their own battlefield right in the living room. The TV remote became the ultimate prize. Jieming's dad is a die-hard sports fan who needs to watch every game live. Xiaoling's dad, on the other hand, is a connoisseur of historical documentaries and classic films. You can imagine how that went. The channel was flipped back and forth so many times, the TV probably got whiplash. 1 minute it's a soccer match, the next it's a black and white movie. The arguments were legendary. This game is crucial. But this documentary is about the fall of an empire. It was a constant battle for control of the family's entertainment hub, peace in the living room. Not a chance, space, which they thought they had plenty of, suddenly felt like it was shrinking. The larger house became a maze of personal belongings with no clear home. Shoes piled up by the door, a mix of both family styles. Bathrooms were a constant source of tension. Who used all the hot water? Became the morning's first complaint. Whose towel is this on the floor? Became the second. Every closet, every shelf, every square inch of counter space was contested territory. It felt like everyone was living on top of each other, and the illusion of having enough room for everyone was shattering with every slammed door and every frustrated sigh. The dream house was starting to feel more like a crowded, chaotic dorm room. Amidst the swirling storm of domestic disputes, Jieming and Xiaoling found themselves in a new, unexpected role: family mediators. They were constantly running back and forth, trying to put out fires. They'd go from calming down their moms in the kitchen with promises of a cooking schedule to negotiating a TV timetable for their dads in the living room. It was exhausting. They had to become diplomats, learning the fine art of validating everyone's feelings while gently pushing for compromise. Okay, Dad, how about you record your game and watch it after Mom's documentary? Or, Mom, what if you cook tonight and Auntie cooks tomorrow? They were the bridge between two stubborn islands, and frankly, the pressure was immense. Their own relationship was being tested as they tried to keep their families from falling apart. Slowly, very slowly, their efforts started to pay off. It wasn't a sudden change, but a gradual, painstaking process. The first breakthrough was the kitchen schedule. After a major argument over a pot of soup, Jieming and Xiaoling sat both mothers down and created a rotating weekly dinner plan. Monday was Jieming's mom's night. Tuesday was Xiaoling's mom's. It was rigid, but it worked. The fighting stopped, and a reluctant truce was formed. Then came the living room. The dads, tired of fighting, have finally agreed to a shared TV calendar. Sports got their primetime slots, and so did the documentaries. Other household chores followed. A cleaning rota was posted on the fridge. A system for laundry was established. Little by little, routines began to form, and a fragile sense of order started to emerge from the chaos. It wasn't perfect, but it was progress. Just as things were starting to settle down, a new dynamic was thrown into the mix. Xiaoling, Xiaoling's younger sister, came to visit with her foreign boyfriend, Mark, and let me tell you, Mark was a breath of fresh and slightly confusing air. He was a lovely guy, but his very different cultural background created some hilarious and awkward moments. For example, he tried to help Jieming's mom in the kitchen and almost caused a heart attack by putting soy sauce in a dish that definitely didn't need it. He greeted Xiaoling's dad with a big, enthusiastic hug at which left the reserved older man completely bewildered. At dinner, his attempts to use chopsticks were a spectacle of flying food. But his cheerful, easygoing nature also brought some much-needed laughter into the tense household. He would ask innocent questions like, "Why do we need to have so many different dishes for one meal?" Which, surprisingly, got everyone to stop and think. His presence, while sometimes chaotic, served as a weird kind of comic relief, forcing everyone to see their own habits through a new lens. The fragile peace felt like it was finally taking hold. The routines were working, the laughter was more frequent, and it seemed like they might just survive this grand experiment. Everyone gathered for dinner, and tonight was Jieming's mother's turn to cook. She had prepared a huge, impressive feast to show off her skills. Everyone was complimenting the food. The atmosphere was light, and Jieming and Xiaoling exchanged a look of relief. They were doing it. They were making it work. Xiaoling's mother took a big bite of a delicious-looking shrimp dish, praising its flavor. She smiled, took another bite, and then her expression changed. Her smile faded. She started coughing, just a little at first, then more intensely. She looked at Jieming's mother, her eyes wide with a dawning horror. "What did you put in this?" she asked, her voice raspy. Jieming's mother, proud of her secret ingredient, replied, "Just a little bit of peanut sauce to give it that extra kick." A silence fell over the table as everyone turned to look at Xiaoling's mother, whose face was now turning red. Xiaoling's mother is severely allergic to peanuts, and that's where we're leaving you. Will she be okay? How will the family handle a crisis of this magnitude? This isn't just about a cooking mistake anymore. It's a matter of life and death. The trust that was so painstakingly built is about to be shattered. You are not going to want to miss the next episode to see what happens. Thanks for watching, and make sure you resubscribe so you don't miss a moment of the drama. We'll see you next time.